Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's Diva the Divine Light, where I'm here to stimulate your mind and illuminate your sight. Well, the last time I was reading an article from from Vulture magazine, and this is part 2 to all your questions about R. Kelly's alleged sex crimes answered. The last time we had talked about it, we left off where they were talking about Jocelyn and Azriel and how they're the new girls in his sex cult, quote unquote. And I wanted to continue to read to you today and talk about the rest of his alleged sex crimes and all the questions that we, want to ask and we want to know. So the question that comes up here now is, when did Kelly's legal problems first start? So a lot of us all say, it first started in 2002 because he was accused of child pornography with an underage girl, and we all know that that was Rashonda Landfair, and we all know that her family was paid off for her to keep quiet and for them to keep quiet. And in this article, it says that the Chicago Times had first reported on the singer in 2000 when a video surfaced showing someone who was believed to be Kelly sexually assaulting and urinating on a 13-year-old girl in Chicago. Then 2 years later, Kelly was indicted by the Cook County DA's office on 21 counts of child pornography. He stood trial, and after just 1 day of jury deliberations, he was acquitted on all charges in 2008. So it took 6 years for him to go back to court for the trial to start. That was just like a big mess, too. They kept stalling his case. And I think that that's what he's trying to do now, is stall the trial. Stall it. Stall it. Stall it. He's trying his best to stall the trial, to get out on bond. It's not going to happen. So he was acquitted of all charges in 2008, and R. Kelly has long denied that he was the man in the video. And since then, more videos have emerged that prompted the most latest indictment that he's in now. And that's to be said that there's a couple of tapes, and I believe 3 of them has Rashonda in it and a couple of other girls, and they're different girls. They're not girls that are actually in the Lifetime documentary. Those are not the girls that are in the newest and latest videos. It's other girls, and these other girls, or witnesses, shall I say, have come forth and made their statements and their testimonies. And so he's going down for that alone. Like there's no backpedaling on this. And then it says, the next question is, was Kelly ever caught with incriminating evidence before? And it says that there have been close calls for Kelly over the years. For example, the same year Kelly performed at the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, he was arrested on an outstanding warrant in Miami. When the police searched the singer's home, they discovered about a dozen images of Kelly engaged in sex acts with an underage girl on a digital camera. After much legal wrangling, the charges were dropped due to lack of probable cause for the original search warrant. So Kelly never stood trial for possessing child pornography or having sex with an underage girl. He didn't get charged for it in Florida. He didn't get charged for it in Chicago. The one in Chicago with Rashonda Landfair, unfortunately, being that she didn't testify, and the parents said that it wasn't her in the disposition or something like that, or the grand jury. They denied that it was her. So he got away with that. And then in Florida, they searched his home, but being that there was no real probable cause for the search warrant, they dropped it. Yeah, that was crazy. So he got away with that shit. He got away with it twice. Like, he really did. And then the next question says that, has Kelly faced any other legal issues? Well, Kelly has had many run-ins with the law over the years, including several lawsuits by women who have accused him of physical or sexual abuse. It started when he married Aaliyah in 1994. At the time, Kelly was 27 and Aaliyah was just 15. The legal age of consent in Illinois is 16. Well, it was 16 back then, but now they changed it to 17. So now the new law is 17 years old. And it says the couple reportedly lied about Aaliyah's age on the wedding certificate. Though Kelly later said Aaliyah lied to him about her age. And by 1995, the marriage was annulled. And in 1997, Aaliyah filed a lawsuit to have the records officially expunged. And both Aaliyah and Kelly denied they were ever married. And Aaliyah's, whose first album Kelly produced, died in a plane crash in 2001. So, we all know he married Aaliyah. Now, there's this big thing, this is confusion going on because people are like, oh, but this is the marriage license, this is a certificate, and the certificate is fake. The marriage license says this guy signed it. Okay, let me explain to y'all. A marriage license is an actual application to get married. So, without you filing that marriage license in the courts, you can't get married. So, you have to file a marriage license application, and then the witnesses and all of that sign it, and then they give you a date. You file it, they give you a date, or they do it right then and there. I'm not even sure how that works there. But then after that, you get married, and you get the marriage certificate. It looks like a birth certificate, but it's a marriage certificate. And on the certificate, the only thing that has to say there are the two people that are married and the judge that signed it. That's it. It don't have to have nothing else but a stamp in a corner of the court where they got married, the judge's information, or whatever it is that has to be, but it has to be something by the courts. And people are like, oh my God, that's so fake and blah, blah, blah. That's not a fake. It's real. They really did pull it up. I forgot who was the source that wound up getting the marriage certificate from the courts before they had the records sealed. Because remember, what did they say? That back in 90, the marriage was annulled in 97. And she had that, she filed in when? Okay. Oh, she filed after that in 97. So it was in 97, So in 95 is when the marriage was annulled. And then 2 years later, the Aaliyah filed a lawsuit to have the records expunged. So that like it never even happened and never existed. So yeah, technically now they never got married because the files were expunged and can't nobody get into those files anymore. So, but before that happened, it took 2 years before she filed the lawsuit after they got their marriage annulled. So in those 2 years, the records were public. It was up for free grabs for 2 years. Like from 1995 to 97, that's 2 years. So anybody was able to go and get the information back then at that time. So we know that baby girl, she died in a plane crash in 2001. May she rest her soul. God bless her. You know, it was a very sad situation. Everybody was very hurt by that. You know, I'm sorry that she never got a chance to tell her side of the story. You know, the document series came out and it spoke about her a little bit and his history with her. And, you know, I really wish she could be alive today so she could talk her story and let it be known. You know, yeah, it's a shame. She did fall in love with Kelly. I believe Kelly was in love with her too, you know. He really loved her. He respected her. He might have done whatever he did to her at a young age, but I think he respected her a lot. Even though he tried to be a little controlling towards her, but her parents weren't having that. They weren't going to stand by and watch her career or her life be ruined by this man. So kudos to you guys, even though the word on the YouTube streets is that you guys knew about it, and you know they let it happen. But once they found out that she was pregnant and that she got married, they were like, that's not happening. That's not happening. So they stopped that from happening. They ended that relationship. The parents intervened and ended that relationship. And then in 1996, Kelly and his entourage were involved in a fight at a health club in Louisiana. Kelly was found guilty of battery, placed on 1 year of unsupervised probation, and reached a settlement in a lawsuit by the victim, who needed 110 stitches after the fight. That same year, Tiffany Hawkins sued Kelly for $10 million after accusing him of having sexual relations with her when she was just 15. He settled the lawsuit a year later for $250,000. So, in 1996, this was right after the marriage was annulled with Aaliyah in 96. He wound up getting into something with a young lady named Tiffany Hawkins. And she supposedly worked for him. She was a background singer, I believe. And she was one of the girls' friends in the Surviving R. Kelly's document series, Javante Cunningham. She knew about Aaliyah and she knew about Tiffany. And according to her in the docuseries, he even had another one of her friends. And he would try to make these girls recruit other girls, you know. I don't understand how people can't see, you know, they're choosing to be in denial and say he's innocent. He's not innocent, y'all. He's not innocent. He's been doing this for years and years and years. And he's gotten away with it because he knew he could. Because he knew he had the money and the power. And when you got money, you got power. And when you got power, you got money, you got respect. So a lot of people respected this man, you know, because, yes, he has a good heart. He, you know,